All right. Odyssey of the Dragonlords, episode 13. The party has entered the Mithril Mines in earnest, and they are trying to rescue some centaurs from the troglodytes, and they are also trying to reignite the ancient Mithril Forge as one of their trials of heroism. Yeah, so this video is going to have some spoilers, obviously, about Odyssey of the Dragonlords, but we're going to talk about when you're DMing, running the monsters, the way the monsters should be run. So, for example, they were fighting a bunch of troglodytes. The troglodytes of Dungeons and Dragons are similar, I guess, to the troglodytes of World of Warcraft in that they are caveman level creatures. So they're very primitive, very basic, very stupid. These particular trogs didn't even have ranged weapons or anything. They are just savage ambush predators. They can basically change their scales on their body to blend into their surroundings like a chameleon, and they use this to ambush prey. Even though the basic ones are very, very weak, they still have 3 attacks per round, which is pretty dang impressive. So they're only a CR 1/4, only have an armor class of 11 and only 13 hit points. So generally, they're going to be killed by 2 attacks, right? Like, mathematically, they're going to get hit twice and they're going to die. If they got a beefy boy dropping like 2d6 plus a heavy strength modifier, or they realize like, hey, low armor class, and they start doing stuff like sharpshooter or great weapon master, yeah, they're going to start one-shotting these guys. But at the same time, they are able to drop some significant attacks here. And when you're only like level 1, 2, or 3, you don't have a lot of hit points to work with. So a d4 plus 2 3 times, that's a threat. So yeah, what makes troglodytes manageable is a couple things. One, they're chaotic evil, and I know alignment, what is it, whatever, blah blah blah. But what is chaotic evil when it comes to a monster? A chaotic evil monster is savage. It is there for the violence. It is there for personal gain. It is there for itself. It is a selfish, monstrous, violent thing. Is a chaotic evil creature. Tack onto that these guys have a 6 intelligence, so they are, like an ape essentially. I think an ape has like an 8 intelligence, maybe. I don't know. Yeah, they're not very smart by the standards of humanoids. Yeah, let's check out an ape real quick. Ape has an intelligence of 6. Yeah, so they're like apes. They're like big, scaly cavemen, basically. They don't have any weapons. They don't have any ranged attacks. Their only real claim to fame is that they're stinky. So they're stinky and they're ambush predators. When I was running these guys last night, I really wanted to like get tactical. I wanted to like move into flanking positions and take advantage of my great numbers. I wanted to sort of block up passageways and herd the party into certain situations that would be beneficial to me. I wanted to attack the spellcasters. And most importantly, when they put the sweet king of the troglodytes to sleep with the Thylean version of sleep, which is a single target super sleep spell. It's called like Sleeping Draft. I didn't have the troglodytes try to wake up the king because they're chaotic and they're stupid and they don't have magic. So they had no idea why the king went to sleep. They only knew that they had to keep fighting. So the players were able to survive what, Kobold Fight Club would describe as a deadly encounter, simply because I played the troglodytes, the way that I felt like they needed to be played, which was stupid and primitive. Like that, the whole like who would win in a fight, an astronaut or a caveman kind of thing. The eternal question, right? In this case, the astronauts did win. I mean, they had their brains, they had their tools, they had their magic, and and they had their structure and their order, and they persevered. The troglodytes put up a good fight for sure, but it became apparent to the party that as long as they kept a level head and worked together, they would overcome the fight. And I feel as a DM that was a real win for me, because it's very tempting when you are the dungeon master to forget that this isn't a game about winning and losing, right? This is a game about telling a good story and a game about experiences. And the players are going to remember that time that they completely bamboozled and then put to sleep the the troglodyte king, and then had this epic battle against his minions while he schnoozed on the floor. And it's going to be a good memory, and they're going to feel good about it. And the session had that feeling to it of everyone was having fun. If I had immediately had like one of the brutes run over and attack the king to wake him up, or shake the king to wake him up, like, why bother? You know what I'm saying? Like, let them have that moment. Respect the fact that the troglodytes have no idea how magic works. Respect the fact that the troglodytes are big, dumb, scaly cavemen, and let the party feel awesome. So yeah, that was just what I wanted to talk about in this video. Was when you're running monsters, you can't run every monster as a perfectly well-trained Spartan soldier. You really do need to look deeper and kind of figure out, like, what is this monster going to play like. There's an amazing blog online that talks about monster AI in Dungeons and Dragons, and how they would kind of operate and run. I will link that in the description, because I can't remember the name of it off the top of my head. But if you're ever in doubt about a monster, you can always look this up. And I think they did a recent Kickstarter for like books that featured the blog articles, if for whatever reason you like physical copies of books. All right, well, I hope everybody's staying safe out there and healthy, and I will see you in the next video.